Hello again, Sean Scorvo for HD23 here. When we left off on the last video, I posed the question about how you'd know that I'm not just a different flavor of politician. How you'd know that I'll stand up against party politics regardless of whether it comes from Republicans or Democrats. How you'd know that I have no problem tackling 75 years worth of political cancer right and left. How you'd know that I'm not just telling you what I think you want to hear. Because after all, you've seen similar promises in the past 75 years. So I wrestled with how to answer the concerns, and in the end, I decided the only way to do it was to tell you a very personal story. One only a few people know. And if after that, you don't believe that I'll put you ahead of myself, power, money, then I'm clearly not the person you should vote for. 2 years ago now, I was director of operations for a company I loved, filled with people I would have taken a bullet for. In fact, I still would. That company was part of a merger. I won't go into merger and acquisition specifics. Let's just say that we agreed to go with their CEO and upper level management in the deal. That CEO had a decent pedigree, and I was on board with the man as a leader because I believed his shtick. I believed it like I have many a politician before because, in the end, the shtick is really all you have to go on. And I continued to believe it until a one-on-one meeting with that man about a month after the merge. In that meeting, my new CEO said he had one overarching demand: loyalty. And that concerned me a lot. Because a good leader earns respect. They don't demand it. A good leader thinks about the organization's people before themselves, not how they expect to be treated. Short story is, the moment I heard that demand, I thought weakness. Weak in leadership and weak in character. But I also reeled back through history, personal and political, and realized that every time I'd seen a scenario like that play out, it was because someone was hiding something. Strong leaders, like strong people, invite scrutiny because the desire to be better overcomes ego. Weak leaders put their ego ahead of everything. Weak leaders are scared you'll discover that thing they hide in the shadows of the company, their politics, and their personality. So I started digging. There was one other person doing the same on a somewhat different topic within the company, and he became my canary in a coal mine. When he was fired by the new CEO, I knew I was on the right track, and I dug even more. 5 months later, I was pretty sure I saw what was happening in the company on a management and financial level, and it wasn't good. I was pretty sure I saw that what the board, the employees were being told was BS. And I was more than pretty sure that if I persisted, I'd be fired. But persist is exactly what I did. Now, some of you may say that persisting when your job is under threat is just plain stupid. Some might say if you're receiving expletive-filled phone calls and directives to stay in your swim lane from your CEO, you might want to listen. I'd say you're right, unless you care more about doing good than doing what you needed to do to get ahead. In the end, I refused to follow the man. In the end, I knew I could only stay true to myself if I could support and confidently ask others to support a leader I believed in. Because a leader is someone willing to put doing right, protecting employees, looking out for investors and customers ahead of giving even a thought to their own well-being. A leader was not what I had in that CEO. And so that leads me back to the state of politics today. Because just like in that business scenario, a leader is exactly what's needed now, more than ever. It's really no surprise that with few exceptions, the majority of our politicians can't lead in time of crisis like we've talked about in the last video. They aren't raised for it. It's really no surprise that you've seen U.S. senators sell stock in hospitality businesses and buy up medical supply company stock after closed-door briefings about how bad the pandemic already was. It's the me-first mentality they were raised for. It's really no surprise that our current representative votes no on darn near everything, regardless of the value to the state or his own constituents. He doesn't know any better because he was raised for the politics of the last 75 years. We need someone raised for the next 75 years of political achievement. We need someone willing to call out poor leadership, even if sometimes it isn't in their own personal interest to do so. My hope is that with that story I just told you about my life, you're coming to believe that I'm the person for you. Thank you.